Welcome to Swim. I've been reading this wonderful book, wonderful novel, precious little novel called A Hero of Our Time by Mikhail Lermontov. I see this book like a tiny Russian doll. Are you familiar with this? It's a doll that a wooden doll, like a bottle, and you open this doll, and in it you have another identical doll. Then you open it, and you have another little doll, and another, and another. This is how I see this wonderful book. And I want to read some portions. I'm going to read a portion from exercise reading the last part of this chapter called Maxim Maximich. Maxim Maximich is one of the characters that tells the story of Pechorin. The author is taking notes and wants to write about Pechorin, but then he also writes about Maxim Maximich. So it's kind of this kind of Russian doll, if you like to. Maxim Maximich is eager to meet Pechorin once again, but he finds not a very agreeable surprise. Here we go. Pechorin is about to leave, to take part. And let me. Okay, I find this portion when he is about to meet again his friend Pechorin. The horses have been already hitched. Now and then the shaft bow bell would tinkle, and twice already the valet had come to Pechorin to report that all was ready. But still Maxim Maximich had not turned up. Fortunately, Pechorin was immersed in meditation as he looked at the blue crenulations of the Caucasian range, and apparently was in no haste to set out on his journey. I went up to him. "If you care to wait a little longer," I said, "you will have the pleasure of seeing an old comrade of yours." "Oh, that's right," he answered quickly. "They told me so last night, but where is he?" I turned toward the square and saw Maxim Maximich running as fast as he could. A few moments later, he was near us. He could hardly breathe. Sweat was trickling down his face. Wet shaggs of grey hair, escaping from under his cap, had glued themselves to his forehead. His knees were shaking. He was about to fall on Pechorin's neck, but the latter, rather coolly, though with a friendly smile, stretched out his hand. For a second the captain stood transfixed, but then avidly seized that hand in both of his. He still was not able to speak. "How glad I am, dear Maxim Maximich. Well, how are you?" said Pechorin. "And thou, and you," stammered the old man with tears in his eyes. All those years, all those days, but where are you off to?" "I'm going to Persia, and then further on." "Not right now." "Oh, but wait, my dearest friend. We aren't going to part right now, are we? We have not seen each other such a long time." "I've had to go right now, Maxim Maximich," was the answer. "Oh, good Lord! What is all this hurry? I'd like to tell you so much, ask you so much. Well, how are you? Retired? How's everything? What have you been doing with yourself?" "I have been bored," answered Pecorin with a smile. "Remember our days at the fort? Fine country for hunting. You used to be a passionate sportsman. And remember Bella?" Pecorin paled slightly and turned away. "Oh, yes, I remember," he said almost at once, feigning to yawn. Maxim Maximich began to implore him to remain a couple of hours longer. "Well, have a capital dinner," he said. "Have a capital dinner. I have a brace of pheasants, and the Cahetian wine is excellent here. Naturally, not what they have in Georgia, but still rate. First rate. We shall talk. You will tell me of your life in Petersburg, won't you?" "Really, I have nothing to tell, my dear Maxim Maximich. And now I must say goodbye. Time for me to leave. I am in a hurry. Thanks for not forgetting me," he added, taking him by the hand. The old man frowned. He was sad and cross, though he tried to conceal it. "Forgotten," he growled. "I, for one, haven't forgotten anything." "Well, do as you please. This is not the way I thought we would meet again." "Oh, come, come," said Pecorin, with a friendly embrace. "Am I not the same as of old? What's to be done? To each his own road. God alone knows if we shall have another chance to see each other." Speaking thus, he was already sitting in his carriage, and the coachman had already begun to gather up the reins. "Wait, wait!" suddenly shouted Maxim Maximich, clutching at the door of the carriage. "I almost escaped my mind. You left some of your papers with me, Grigory Alexandrovich. I lugged them along with me, thought I might find thought I might find you in Georgia. I see now where the Lord has us see each other. What shall I do with them?" "Whatever you like," answered Pecorin. "Goodbye." "So are you off to Persia? And then will you be back?" Maxim Maximich shouted after him. The carriage was already far, but Pecorin made a sign with his hand which might have been interpreted as most likely never. And besides, what for? The jingling of the chapel and the clatter of the wheels on the flinty road had long ceased to be heard, but the poor old fellow still stood in the same place, deep in thought. Now, a little of context. Maxim Maximich described Pecorin as not a very pleasant guy. He was indeed not a good fellow. This, this novel was very criticized, very attacked. Frankly, I cannot find till now what is precisely the reason for that harsh response of the critics. Because indeed, these kind of novels from the 19th century, talk about these kind of characters: hypocrites, liars, deceivers, seducers. I will continue reading it, and if I hope to deliver you a comment, a general comment, because I don't like to spoil the experience of yourself reading beautiful books. But I hope to encourage you, and I hope to communicate in a very enthusiastic and maybe mysterious way and move your curiosity and read books like this one, a hero of our time. Thank you very much. I'm Gary Bay, and this is Swim.